Adam Davidson, RadCast. It's, Wednesday already, the 29th of January, 2020. We're going to jump into, you guessed it, Matthew chapter 6. I cannot get away from this, try as I might. So hear these words again. Maybe we all need to hear them. Maybe I need to hear them again. So here we go. Same as yesterday, but it goes like this. Matthew 6, 33 and 34. Jesus is speaking, and this is what he's telling us to do today, friends. Seek first his kingdom and his righteousness, and all these things will be given to you as well. All these things meaning our food, our clothing, our the stuff we drink, our shelter, all the stuff that we need. He will take care of that as we seek the kingdom first. And then he says, therefore do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will worry about itself. Each day has enough trouble of its own. I've been thinking about this a lot, and I keep going back to this scene where I'm sitting at like a table with Jesus, and sitting at a table with Jesus, isn't that the title of a book? Anyway, so sitting at a table with Jesus, and he's there and I'm there, and we're just supposed to talk and connect. Think of it as like a prayer time, but a lot easier because you can actually see him. And instead of being fully present to him as he is fully present to me, I'm kind of looking off at the ceiling and wondering about what's going to happen next week and worrying about what will happen 6 months from now and what if this and what if that. Like, because we all have a wandering mind, right? And sometimes we wish Jesus would just show up and like be there, and I bet we would still have a wandering mind. Just knowing me, that's how amazingly distracted I can get. And so I imagine this scene, and I imagine sitting there being worried, and Jesus just trying to get my attention and saying, "You're wasting your time." He would say, Adam, your biggest concern is that I won't be there tomorrow, and here I am right now, and your biggest concern yesterday was whether or not I would be here today. That's just, I get really stuck on that. It's like, man, I do that. Every time I worry, I start thinking about the fact that God may not be present in the future. Now, I don't think of it in those terms, but basically that's what I'm saying. I'm saying it's all going to fall apart. Well, why would it fall apart? Well, because there's not enough power and enough, unifying something and guiding force that would be Jesus to keep it all together. I'm just fascinated by our humanity this morning. I guess that's where I'll start. And the other thing I'll say is this. It is pretty interesting, too, that Jesus says, don't worry about tomorrow because tomorrow will worry about itself. I get stuck on that too, that if you just leave worry to itself, just leave worry in the cage, it'll just consume itself. It doesn't need you to exist, but you can ignore it and it'll like go away on its own. Fascinating. So join me today in fixing our eyes on Jesus. It's the only way to go. That's RadCast.